good morning or good time of day whenever you're watching this. It's morning here, and I want to speak today about a deep concept that will help you shift your perspective, that will get you out of this box that you've been put into, that you've been conditioned to, and that we keep choosing every day, right? Because we want to turn things over into the place of personal responsibility, because if it's happening to us, we don't really have much say or much control. But when we take responsibility, like, oh my God, I'm putting myself in this box every single day, I'm reaffirming those belief systems. I live like 95% of our lives are subconscious, right? So it's run on autopilot. So I am not stopping, I'm not pattern interrupting, I'm actually choosing this story over and over and over again. So from that place, we actually have power, we can shift our reality. So today is about that. Today is me sharing with you a really deep concept that I stumbled upon yesterday. As I'm currently, one of the things that I committed to this year is to do the Course in Miracles, and I've read a lot about it, and I've read the book, and now I'm going into the lessons every single day. So I'm not going to go deep into that because there's a reason why the structure is the way it is, and if you would like to check that out, you're welcome to do so. But I wanted to bring here a deep concept that just really made me see things differently. And this is why I'm sharing this. The lesson was something along the lines of, I am afraid of a neutral world because I am in competition with God. That last part, because I am in competition with God. And that really made me stop and think of just how many times throughout our lives, years or month or week or day or hour, we go into competition with God. And if you don't like the word God, if that doesn't resonate, life source or higher self, whatever it is, something greater than you, what is it? Why do you like the things that you like? Why do you dislike the things that you dislike? What is this energy that is moving through you? Why are you attracted to some things and repelled by others? That God energy, that source within you, that essence. How often do we compete with it? Do we argue with it? Do we feel the need to run it through the filter that is our ego, that is our mind, that has no idea about anything, that is so limited, right? Our five senses are so limited, and yet we rely on them. Even though all that we see is the past, even though, again, like I said, most of our life, it's on autopilot. We're just there recreating the past. We're clinging on to what is familiar. We're trying to predict, we're trying to anticipate the future so that we feel safe. That false illusion, that illusion of control. So we are there resisting something greater. We're resisting those impulses. We're resisting that, following that heart's desire for something that is so limited. How often do you compete with God? How often do you argue with it? How often do we go into, well, that's not safe. I'm not sure about this. Maybe not now. And we don't trust. And that lack of trust, that lack of surrender is competition with God because we think we know better. That ego, that which fears death, that which sees things in a linear way, as there was a beginning of my life, there will be an end of my life, that we go into trusting that rather than intuition, the flow. And it's not that one is wrong, the other one is right. It is the power of combining the two. Don't get me wrong, I am all for the ego. I believe in strengthening it. I believe in loving it. The inner child work is really, the inner child is that inner critics, that ego that's just shielded with a shield and a sword. But underneath that, there's that inner child that wants love. So I am all for that. I'm not for rejecting that whatsoever. However, when we're there leading with that, it gets us not where we want to go. We're staying stuck, allowing that child to dictate what is right and what is wrong. It's similar to if you're a king or queen of your castle, of your land, and you want to make a decision and you go, well, let me run by the maid first. This makes no sense. And yet that is what we do almost every day. We get an impulse, we get a heart's calling. It's like, yes. Oh, I'm not sure. What will people think? What will that person think of me? How will they see me? I'm not sure about this. What are the consequences? Instead of simply trusting, if I'm drawn to something, that is God speaking through me. There's this beautiful quote that was, praying is when we talk to God. Intuition is when God talks to us. And yet we don't want to hear it. We don't want to follow it. We're asking for things, and yet when it's being given to us, we say, I don't want it. I'm too scared. I'm too afraid. I'm too self-conscious. So taking a deep breath into that, just bringing this to awareness. This is not to beat yourself up. This is just to bring it to awareness of, I am afraid. There's that fear coming up, and just bring it to awareness. Sometimes it's as simple as, it is simply enough to shine the light and the darkness goes away. So becoming aware of, oh, I am fearing. There is fear present right now. And just breathing into that. So I encourage you throughout your day today, just noticing how many times are you in competition with life? Are you in competition with God, source, universe, consciousness? How many times do you doubt? Do you overthink? Do you go into what ifs or the possible scenarios instead of simply being present? And of course, if this is something that you want to go deeper with, this is what I do with my one-on-one clients, just learning to allow that, learning to feel safe, because it's easier said than done, right? It's like, well, just feel safe, just trust, just surrender. There's a reason that there are stories that we bought into. There's a reason why we go into self-sabotage. There's a reason why we go into procrastination. It's not procrastination, it's a part of you not feeling safe with that which you want to do, because there is a reason. So this is something that I do with my one-on-one clients in a 3-month program to make sure that those results actually happen, to make sure that that transformation actually occurs. So if this is something that you want to dive deeper into, I'm currently opening up spaces for new clients. However, if I am full, then you're welcome to get in on the waiting list. So I encourage you to reach out to me if this is something that you want. And just for today's exercise, if you're not ready to go deeper, just become aware of, where is it that I am in competition with life? And on this note, I am wishing you a very powerful day, and I'll see you soon.